forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the first carry for Cam Akers. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Remember, these two teams met earlier in the year in Santa Clara with the Niners coming out on top. So a win here in Santa Clara would give them the season series. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap for Stafford. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they scored a touchdown. A good hold in these right conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Stafford here, coming off his pick six. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. This defense for the Niners, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Here's Stafford. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Gold with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly, forcing incompletions.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's going to look deep down the field. On Stafford for the third time is intercepted. It's David Arnett picking it off. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
And it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Lance, a handoff here to Mostert. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back, and sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way.
Mostert hit, and he drops the ball. And the Rams have got it back. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Following the fumble recovery, Lance. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. Here's Mostert. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Raheem Mostert, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he stopped immediately there. The tackle by Eric Armstead. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And Akers, he is not going to get there. They mark him short of the first. call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Meeting the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
First down, Rams.
21-0 our score after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll toss this right side to Cam Akers. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Stafford. And the Niners get there and bring him down. A.J. Epinesa just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack, and they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the 49ers are going to have it here just past the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They'll try and run here with Mostert. These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visiting Niners who won that ball game, so they'll look to make it a clean sweep here at home in Santa Clara. Here's Mostert. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
And now they'll throw with Lance. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll go out of bounds, making it all the way down to the 5. A big play there for the Niners. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the Rams, 6-yard line.
One more time with Mostert. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the 49ers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
25-yard line. The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field. Certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford. That's into the hands of Jacob Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Steps away to his left. And this is incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Again, it's Stafford. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Here's a run with Akers on second down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harris. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And they'll get him down right around the 16. A gain of 3, second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. On the handoff, it's Akers. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And it bangs off the right upright, no good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. A quick pass out to Juju. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's a second down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile around, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 12, Lance. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Finding room to the 20. Touchdown 49ers. Raheem Mostert, 31 yards. And the 49ers continue to roll. Gold with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Makes the score.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Going right back to Akers. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. On 1st down, Mitchell. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Trey Sermon. hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They've got to dig something right now. Really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They run with Mostert off the option. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 81 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Sermon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Stafford hooking up with Akers. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
First down.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing again is Stafford.
That's complete to his running back, Jefferson.
A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank.
And the Niners are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
2nd down, here's Mostert again.
And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
On the give, this is Akers.
And some room to maneuver. A nice little juke. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2.
80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Hey, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just call the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Akers. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And this team continues to stake its claim as Super Bowl favorites. They are now eyeing an 8th straight win as they begin this drive here in the 4th quarter. Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield, marking down at the 49. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Mitchell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better. Their partner running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Niners, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for L.A., add one more